Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together, because we can and we will. But what I'm going to show you today is Ted Cruz holding nothing back. He goes full-on F-22 Raptor on these gun controllers in this gun control Senate hearing. This is hot off the presses. You guys are not going to see this anywhere else in your normal 2A channels, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think, because this is some truth bombs from orbit. Now, of course, everything is linked in the description box below, and make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, because we have got to talk about this one and spread this freedom across this amazing nation. Now, I'm going to say a quick word from a giveaway that Vanish Holsters is doing, and then we're going to hit this, and you're going to love every second. My brothers and sisters, I am excited to bring you what I think is the biggest giveaway that I've ever seen on this channel, and it's brought to you by Vanish Holsters. Now, Vanish Holsters is made for the everyday American concealed carry patriot, not the upper echelons of the gun world. We're talking somebody who wants to have a gun, have it be comfortably stored, and safely stored to protect themselves and those that they love. This is the most comfortable holster that you're ever going to wear. This is a 48-inch belt that fits universally to anybody, and it's completely ambidextrous. It has a no-stink material, and it fits up to a 46-inch waist. This is something that you're going to want to check out. Look at this. They are launching the biggest giveaway I have ever had on this channel. They are giving one of you this incredible Jeep Gladiator and $25,000 worth of gold thanks to Vanish. To enter, all you have to do is click the link in the description and get yourself the most comfortable holster you've ever worn, and Vanish is hooking you up. Get $40 off now when you use my link in the description box. All right, so as I mentioned in the introduction, Ted Cruz clearly ate his Wheaties this morning. Now, this is in a gun control hearing, and fair shout out to Katie. Katie at Stone Second Sense. Check her channel out if you'd like. She's part of our network. She actually sat through this for 2.5 hours today, marking down timestamps and figuring out where the best place was for us to get clips for you guys to make this hot off the presses. So, special shout out to her. Let her hear some love in the comments, but let's get it. This is probably the best thing he's said in a while. Check this out.
That the Democrats are unleashing. And by the way, to give you an underscoring of it, look, we have a mental health crisis in this country. I've repeatedly introduced legislation to improve school safety, to invest to double the number of police officers in schools. Democrats objected. To invest $15 billion in mental health counselors in schools. Democrats objected. Their priority is not stopping the criminals. Their priority is disarming law-abiding citizens. And by the way, they call it a public health crisis because they want to put supposed experts in charge of disarming you. The Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights is not a public health crisis. What is a public health crisis is the crime rates that are skyrocketing because Democrats keep letting murderers and violent criminals out of jail.
Oh, snap! He just called them on everything that they're up to. Legitimately. The reason I let that play the whole way, he didn't hold anything back. They do call it an epidemic of gun violence because they want to put health policy experts over your Second Amendment rights. It's not an infringement, it is not a right that's available to public health. It's a Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights. He's 100% correct. And when you have progressive DAs across this amazing nation going out and letting criminals, letting murderers, letting all these heinous acts, the people who perpetrated them, out, you're shocked and surprised when they come back. This hearing was full of stuff, and you guys are going to see a lot. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's go to the second clip from Teddy, because Teddy went, oh my goodness, just, whew.
Understand that today's Democrats in the Senate, these are not your father's Democrats. There are no moderate Democrats left in Congress. Today's Democrats, when it comes to guns, their objective is to disarm law-abiding citizens. They simultaneously embrace policies that release violent criminals from jail. They're not interested in locking up murderers. They're not interested in locking up gangbangers. They're not interested in locking up violent criminals. Instead, they systematically support policies that release violent criminals. By the way,
totally true. Now, he's not all amped in this part, but he's correct. The very people who want to take the gun rights from the population are the same people who are going to allow policies which will allow more criminals closer to those they are trying to disarm. You cannot make that more clear. That is something that should resonate with every single American. It's what is happening across this country. He's right. Now, they're not getting the gun rights. In fact, I would argue that they are actually getting stuffed across the board and they're getting really stacking on the L's area. But that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments field. But he's right. And I got one more clip for you. And like I said, in this whole Senate hearing, we got about 10 to 15 clips that we have to break down for you guys over the next few days because there's some incredible stuff. But let's get it. Last thing from Teddy Cruz.
You know what? We're not having a hearing on the impact of Soros prosecutors releasing violent criminals from jail. We're not having a hearing on carjacking in Washington, D.C. because the Democrat City Council lowered the penalty for carjacking, lowered the penalty for murder. We're not having a hearing on Congressman Henry Cuellar, a Democrat from Texas, who was carjacked in Washington, D.C. at 9:30 at night. We're also not having a hearing on the Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots across the country, because to Democrats, when stores are being looted, when police cars are being firebombed, when police officers are being murdered, that's not a crisis if they agree with the ideology of the criminals. Instead, their objective is they want to take away the firearm from the single mom who's taking the subway home at night, who that is the only prevention she has against the violent criminals.
That was an excellent alliteration. You want to go with letting people out of jail, letting criminals, letting do all these things, but you want to take the guns away from those who are most vulnerable. Now, I'm all for, girl power or whatever. I'm not saying more vulnerable because of XYZ. I'm just saying in a scenario that's typical across the board, you're going to have a bit of a disadvantage in most cases in that scenario. It's an equalizer. The people who are the most vulnerable need an opportunity to defend themselves. This is not difficult, which is one of the reasons why I always go hard on Democrats in big cities who have full control, putting more financial obstacles on those who are financially burdened more so than those that are not. For the party of we're for the little people and the man is evil against the little man, they sure do put a lot of fines and penalties on rights that everyone shares, preventing them from being able to partake in rights. I'm just saying, this is something that's very powerful. If you're going to let criminals out of jail as a mainstay of your party, progressive wing of your party, no matter who funds it, whatever, you're going to have a bit of an issue reconciling the fact that you want to take protection away. You're inviting the wolves to dinner and then saying the sheep can't have any way to defend themselves. That's what you're doing. And then after all the bad things happen, you're using that as an impetus to take more guns from more people. I'm going to put that in the category of pretty gross. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and I will see you tomorrow when we are going to break down the rest of this, and I hope you have a pleasant night.